All the squares look if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad.
Kenosha judge shrugs off Kyle Rittenhouse admitted bond violations, denies a higher bail and new warrant. Is this a video? Is this a video, Dwayne? All right. So white supremacy is back at it again. I mean, it seems like when a white person kills somebody, shoots somebody, storms somebody's capital, evades taxes, doesn't pay their taxes, cheats their taxes, walks their dog, like calls the police on people, that for the most part, that gets treated as a slap on the wrist. So a Wisconsin judge Thursday ruled that a teenager accused of murdering two people at an anti-police protest did not violate the terms of his bond by concealing his address from the court. Demands by a prosecutor to increase the bond of Kyle Rittenhouse and issued a warrant for his arrest was denied by Kenosha County Circuit Court Judge Bruce E. Schroeder bag at the hearing. I'm going to deny the motions, Schroeder said. Saying he didn't think it would be lawful. Rittenhouse, 18, has been presumably living back in his native Illinois, but his exact location was unclear after a court notice sent to the address on file was returned by the new residents at the location. He had been using the P.O. box instead. The terms of his bond mandated he reside at the address on which the people provided the court. Schroeder, in turn, ruled that Rittenhouse must disclose his current address to every local law enforcement agency involved, except for the Kenosha Assistant District Attorney's Office. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like when they're keeping black people or people of color on probation, on like
arrest.
Court order, house arrest. Yeah. They create new laws. To keep your ass in the house. Check this out. If you're in Florida, I had a friend who had a DUI in Florida. And they had a big machine that she had to put in her house. And the machine, and at certain times in the day, you had to stick your face in the machine so it could snap your picture. And the background had to be the same. You couldn't move the machine. The machine had a GPS in it. And also, she had to have the ankle band. And then if she went anywhere, she had to blow. And so you mean to tell me somebody who got a DUI but didn't hurt anyone has less freedoms than somebody who murdered someone on camera?
What color was she?
And saying that arresting this guy is violating the law. Wait a minute. That whole last location that he was supposed to be staying at broke the terms of his what? Am I missing something here, bruh?
Yes. You're missing the most important factor of all, Marcus. And that's something that your friend in Florida didn't experience. That's something you and I won't experience. We don't wake up and go to sleep white.
Yeah.
No, I mean, because I can't in my wildest dreams come up with a better answer than that, because that's the only thing that I mean, I know we're going to talk about this impeachment stuff, but you know how they blamed it on the guy that got disowned by Black Lives Matter. They blamed the whole riot on the one black guy that got arrested. So so when you stop and think about it, that's the only thing that I can think about, that this is the reason why this guy did not get arrested again, was because of the color of his skin. I know we know that, but but sometimes, like you were laughing, you have to laugh to keep from crying, because it's so funny that it's insulting to the human mind.
I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse he crossed state line. First, you know how I know they're bullshitting? He crossed state lines and went home. And went home across the whole ass state line, making him a fugitive right? There has to be some kind. I mean, you're a fugitive on the run at that point.
Where's Dog the Bounty Hunter at when you need him?
Hell, where's Officer Friendly when you need him? And notice the statement that they made in the law, which was the most interesting thing. They said that the only people that needed to know his address were the people in the counties and the police in the counties surrounding him. Like they give a damn. They probably going to be bringing them, food and weed and shit like that to his house. Much rather trying to make sure that he stays in the house. White privilege is a goddamn drug, bro.
Like when I come back in my next life, I want to be 6'4", white, and 200 pounds. I'm telling you. I mean, because everything will just be made easy for me.
Hopefully, that ain't going to be an advantage for you then.
Hopefully.
But I mean, like if we could reverse white privilege for white, I don't know. Like if we could reverse roles, because I like my skin tone and I don't want to envision myself as a white man, right?
I love
it. So even though I'm 15% Irish, I don't want to present myself as a white guy. So I guess my question is, my thing is, I don't want to reverse the skin tone. No offense against white people. It's just I like what I am. But what I wouldn't mind doing is experiencing black privilege. And not saying that I haven't experienced it in small doses before. I'm a lighter skinned, fair skinned black man. I have certain privileges, and I'm a man. I have certain privileges over other people. I can how I show up in the world. I have to check that all the time. But when it comes down to white people, I want black-white experience just for 24 hours.
Then
I will. The first thing I'm going to do is apply for every loan on the planet.
I'm with you on that, but see, what you want to experience is white man's burden. You want our guy Harry Belafonte. If you've ever seen that movie, that's exactly what you're talking about. Where the white man is actually going through what black people go through. So if you haven't seen that movie, Marcus, because when you start talking about it, that's exactly what came to mind. Check it out, Harry Belafonte, White Man's Burden. You will wake up, be like, okay, this is the life I want to live.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, they're poor white folks, and they get ostracized also. As a matter of fact, quick shout out to Judas. What was it? Black Messiah and Judas, the movie that came out today on Netflix. Judas and the Black Messiah. I watched it today.
I haven't watched it yet. I put it on DVD for some
I'm not going to give any secrets away because it came out today. And what I am going to say is, holy shit, the federal government does not like us. I mean, I don't understand how anybody can argue against reparations in Rep 1 at this time period. We reported a few weeks ago on this show that the FBI is proven that the FBI had involvement with the chairman's murder in Chicago. And to see the level of involvement, and for them, and later on, they were the family and the survivors. They sued the Chicago Police Department for $47 million. They ended up settling 10 years later. By the way, it was the longest civil rights trial in history, and they ended up settling for less than $2 million. At what point does America actually say to itself, okay, whiteness, toxic whiteness, and I guess the guy who played Hoover,
Martin Sheen.
I guess he said a line in there, and he was like, these black folks trying to get free is going to destroy our way of life. Our way of life. And that's what we're seeing today, in my opinion. I mean, like the lack of accountability from the FBI, all the way to the lack of accountability to the people who stormed the Capitol, all the way to their fearless leader, their dear leader, Kim Jong-Trump. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm talking about right now is sort of the lack of accountability that we've seen for years, right? And we even have fair and modern court systems. The same court systems that we use right now were the same court systems that allowed a payoff to happen and allowed nobody to go to jail for over the atrocities that happened. Hoover has buildings named after him, right? People look at these guys and we just never seen accountability. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Well, there's a lot. One, the fact I'm still stuck on the 47 million down to 2 million for the settlement. That right there is just is asinine to say the least. But when it comes to accountability, you're asking America to shine a light and to shine a mirror on itself to admit its wrongdoings. It's never done that, and probably in our lifetime, Marcus, they may never do that. The sheer fact that you had someone like Hoover involved and in office, speaks to the level of just how deep white supremacy goes in this country. And look, even to this day, you can put a black man in the White House, but systemic changes still will not take place because of the racism that's involved in there. We look at it today. You talked about accountability on what happened at the Capitol. Yes, they continue to arrest folk little by little, left and right, but the question is going to be what type of punishment will they actually face? We're putting the horn man into a jail cell where he can get organic food. Now, I'm sorry, if I was ever go to jail, I want to go to a women's prison, but you're not going to send me there. That's just based on that's my dietary system.
Watch it.
But I'm not going to get what I asked for. Just the sheer fact that we are in a country that is supposed to be of laws and country by rules, the rules just do not apply to us as it does to other folk, man. And it's a harsh reality, but until you face it and address it, which I don't know, I doubt President Biden will do, and until we get people in Congress that are aligned in our frame of thinking, in our frame of governing, in our frame of issues, then we're gonna come back and keep having these conversations year in and year out. Unfortunately, in my opinion.
Trap squad, look if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, trap.